Chinese colonizers strike again. This is posted by my brother on his YouTube channel, Chris Alexander. So if you haven't subscribed already, subscribe. And also subscribe to Pet Astrology. And I don't post regular, but I'm going to try and post more regular on my channel. Right, but subscribe to Chris Alexander. Alright, this video, Chinese colonizer strike again. What I saw in that video doesn't surprise me at all, because the Chinese and racism is becoming more mainstream now. It wasn't out there before, but it is now. And what's getting my blood boiling about the Chinese, right, is that they're going to Africa and colonizing it, right? They're going to Africa to earn money, to earn a living. Their country's fucked up already, right? So they're going to Africa and they want to fuck that up as well, right? And they want to segregate black people, right? This clip here, it says there, see the words, "I'm a black monster," or N-word, right? This is what a Chinese man in Africa is telling them to say in Chinese, but they don't know what they're saying. But it's a Chinese man that's gone over there and telling them to preach insults about themselves when they don't know they're doing it. Why would anybody in the right mind do that? I've never even seen white supremacists do that, to be honest with you. never heard of a French or Polish or Swedish or any other that don't speak English or don't speak the language that they can understand say anything like that. Never. And this girl here has been brainwashed by her mother to be racist, to be fearful of black people. Yeah, this is what's been happening with white supremacy. That's why today you get white females that are scared of black men. Yeah, and this girl here is going to be just another one. Another non-black person that's scared of black people because she's being brainwashed to do so. Yep. Telling her to be fearful of blacks. Black people are dodgy, they're suspicious, you have to... And the main people that are committing crimes against them are their own people and white people. Yeah, not black people. Yeah. But because black people have black skin, it's dark, it's something to be feared. In their own little world. Yeah. And no, not all Chinese people are racist, no, but when you see a large population of Chinese leaving their own country, yeah, they're leaving their ass and going over to Africa and being racist, that's when it comes to a problem, right? Because there's one thing being racist in your own country, which is bad enough, right? But to go to Africa and be racist, just repeating what the Europeans did 200-300 years ago. This is how it starts. It starts from subtle racism, right? Segregating them from not letting them in barbers, in cafes. That's happened in Kenya, right? And in other parts of Africa. Saying that black people are this, black people are that, black people are monkeys. That's what one of them said, yeah? And a lot of them think like that. Throwing them in rivers, treating them like slaves, whipping them. That's what they're doing. You see, it's already started off badly. Just imagine how bad it's going to get if weak ass, no backbone, Africans, black men in particular, because they should be the leaders, right? They're not doing fuck all about it, right? Or doing very little. They're gonna take more liberties, aren't they? They're gonna take liberties. That's what, when you hear the expression "take a liberty," that's what they're doing. And then they know they can take a liberty because weak ass black men are not doing nothing. I say weak ass black men, yeah. Not all black men are weak, right? But in Africa and in America, right? Because it has to be said, in America, if you look at what happened to Emmett Till in 1955, yeah, what did the black people do? Nothing, right? When it comes to gang bangers shooting each other, that's when they're hard. But when it comes to white supremacy, they didn't do fuck all, right? Not even prepared to do anything. You know what I mean? And in Africa, this is where it stems from. In Africa, they're soft as fuck. They're not doing nothing. Every time a colonizer comes over, they don't do anything. No backbone. You can never see black people go to anyone else's continent and act like that and get away with it. No chance. But people come to Africa, people of different races come to Africa, they're still doing it today, going in there and raping the women, the children. It's happening in Kenya, yeah, and black people allowing it because they're getting in the action themselves. They're allowing the Chinese to come over and do this, yeah. It's getting ridiculous. It's getting ridiculous. And another story I'm going to tell you, which is true, right? A black man in China, can't remember which city now, but he got beaten to death by a group of Chinese boys, yeah, because he was dating a Chinese girl, yeah. I've never heard once, ever, a white man getting beaten up for getting with a Chinese girl in China, never. And they do that. It's a tradition for English and American men, white men, to go over to China and other parts of Far East Asia and get themselves Oriental women. And I've never seen or heard of anything of a white man getting beaten to death because he's dating one of their women. Never. But yeah, I hear a story of a black man doing it, even though it's not as common for a black man to get with an Asian girl as it is for a white man. It's not nowhere near as common. Nowhere near. But yeah, it's the black man that gets killed for it. Nobody should be getting killed for dating anybody. But yeah, it's black men that, like in Jim Crow America. Even the suspicion of getting with a white woman could lead to a lynching. But it was okay for a white man to date a black woman, though. It was okay for that. In fact, the thing that broke the rule of interracial marriages in the South was a white man that wanted to marry a black woman in the 1960s or 50s, whenever it was. So that shows you the privilege there, you know. So leading back to this is how it starts. Yeah, they're colonising Africa. They're starting off with the sick racism, and it's going to get worse. Next, it's going to be towns or street will be segregated. Then the town will be segregated. Then cities will be segregated. Then parts of the country will be segregated, where black people will be thrown to the bush, and then the Chinese can live in nice luxury cities. That's what will happen. And if you don't believe me, you think that's far-fetched, well, it happened in South Africa, didn't it? It happened in South Africa, Namibia. It happened there. So you think it's not going to happen again? This is how it starts. Brainwashing black people, well, giving them a language that they don't understand to insult themselves. Then they'll just, when they do understand it, they'll just keep going because they'll brainwash into it. I mean, look at black people using the M-word. Black Americans use the M-word for fun. They know what the word means, what it meant, but they still say it because they were brainwashed to say it. They were brainwashed to watch their fellow men get whipped, emasculated by white men, calling them the M-word. And the word is just stuck, hasn't it? Yeah. They say it. You get black women referring to black men as N-words. There's no respect there. Calling another man an N-word. Why don't you call him a king instead of an N-word? I know some black people, not every black person says the N-word, I know that, right? But a lot of them do. It's ridiculous. They're saying it in songs, in rap songs, and then now you get white people today that think they've got the privilege to say it because they hear it in a song. Or not just that, because their black friend or their dark-skinned white cousin who's mixed race says the N-word. So that means, well, if my cousin who's half black can say it, that means I can say it too. That's how they're thinking. It's getting ridiculous. It's getting ridiculous. And black people are quick to give other races their colour. Even somebody that's 1/4 black, 3-part white is a black person. No, they're not. They're not. But yet black people are okay with that. Fat Joe, the rapper, more white than anything else, he's allowed to say the M-word. And he's got his black female friend backing him up, saying no, he's allowed to say it. This is how it starts. It starts from brainwashing, making you feel small, dehumanized, emasculated, whatever, right? Then it builds up into this. Oh, where we can't do anything. They can say the N-word, it's okay. They can take over our town, they can take over our country. We're just black people. I'm only a black man, I've only got a BBC, it's okay. When I say BBC, I'm on about big black clock, right? Because a lot of black men only value themselves as that, right? When there's more to us than just a fucking sex machine, but we get viewed as a sex machine. Because we've allowed it, and we still allow it. Because most black men haven't got a backbone, unfortunately. Fortunately, I know a lot of black people that have got a backbone, yeah? But there's too many out there that haven't. Oh, and another thing I forgot to mention, another thing. I mean, there'll be loads I won't mention now, because I won't be able to do it in this video. But another thing, in America, one of them stupid fucking weave shops that black women go to, right? That's owned by an Asian, the Chinese, yeah? One shopkeeper, a Chinese shopkeeper, punched the black woman in the mouth because he accused her of stealing. Where she was, I don't know, but he accused her of stealing. So he punched her in the mouth, and she was injured, obviously. He's a grown man, and that's a woman, yeah? What did the black men do? Nothing. 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 Do you know what happens to another black man if he insults another woman or tries to get with another black woman and she belongs to another black man? Do you know what could happen there? A drive-by. Fucking hell. Have you seen the film Men's Society? I know it's a film, but that shit happens in real life. They get shot at the end because he was dealing with another man's woman. Yeah. That happens in real life. But when a Chinese man punches a black woman in her face, none of her relatives have done nothing about it. None of her friends have done nothing about it. No black man has come to her rescue, nothing. And guess what? The black women, the so-called strong black women, which is all the bullshit because they're not strong, right? Well, most of them, not in mass, they're not anyway, because they went back to that shop and started buying his shit, giving their money to that Chinese man that beat up their fellow black sisters. Yeah. You see a fellow black sister getting punched in the face, right, by a man. Any man would be bad enough, but a Chinese man who known for being racist, right? And you do nothing about it. And in fact, to put icing on the cake, you go back to his shop, queuing up for a new weave. Absolute disgrace. It's embarrassing. It's embarrassing. And a lot of people know what I'm talking about. They've seen the video. It's been all over YouTube and social media. Why are black people so weak? Why? Obviously, not all black people, no. Like I said, thank God I know a lot of strong ones, right? Thank God I'm not weak. Thank God I wasn't born slack and emasculated and only consider myself a sex object for other races of people. Thank God I've got family members that are strong, you know. Friends that are strong. Black friends I'm on about, yeah. Yeah, I've got white friends that are strong, I've got Asian friends that are strong, but I'm not black people now, yeah. Because out there's too many black people that forgive other people, other races for doing shit to them, which they wouldn't forgive us for doing it. And it starts off through colonisation.